Welcome to Jazz TV Show, Nubhav. It's amazing to have you again.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you, and your insights are always great.
Awesome.
Something I would love to ask during this podcast, but every time we discuss about the market, every time we discuss about what's happening in the industry, we always chat about things offline as well. Today, obviously, it's an opportunity for us to know everything from you and obviously how things are going, where the hotspots are. Let's discuss.
Sure. Absolutely. So, firstly, I think for your viewers and to you, Jazz, thank you so much for the opportunity. And it's always a pleasure talking to you on the phone and discussing different elements
Absolutely.
of
Yeah.
markets and exactly what you're seeing and what we are seeing because we are in different markets that we
Correct.
operate. Secondly, I think the relationship that we share as professionally but also
Correct.
friendly as well
Exactly.
matters to me a lot.
True.
And this is an absolute pleasure to be here today in front
Absolutely.
of your viewers and actually giving them my
True.
view about
Absolutely.
what we look at. So thank you for that.
Exactly. You're most welcome. And I think the clients love you. Like we recommend clients to each other. And of course, the clients who have worked with you so far,
Yeah.
they've been amazingly happy.
Yeah.
So obviously, there's something that you're doing right, which is working for the clients and building equity and growth.
Thank you.
Our job is quite similar.
Yeah.
It's about helping them in their financial growth and obviously in their property journey as well.
Correct.
We use assets and property as vehicles. तो नंबर वन थिंग मैं आपको आज पूछूंगा
जी.
हॉटस्पॉट्स कहाँ हैं
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the question on everyone's mind. अभी अगर हम जब markets को देख रहे हैं,
हाँ.
what's happening is I want to take a step back a little bit before I answer that direct question.
Of course.
Because what we have been in a very volatile market right now over the last 7 years, right? Since before COVID, during COVID, after COVID, we are not in a very stable economic conditions. A lot has changed over these last 6-7 years. And that has also changed people's viewpoints on where to invest, what to do, what and how to buy properties. So and governments have been quite liberal in obviously during COVID, handing out cash and then tightening the whole thing, and now starting to release that back again.
Correct.
So these momentums allow people to see things differently at different times, and that changes how things work on ground
Right.
as
okay.
well, because everything is to do with consumer confidence, right?
Confidence is super important.
Very much, right?
Very, very critical.
And also, since we are in Victoria, we both live in Point Cook. We are in Point Cook, and
There's a lot to talk about that.
there's a lot to talk about Point Cook and the market in Point Cook. But I love where I live. But necessarily, when people want to diversify, what are the options?
True.
Right, and where do they go?
And I think, sorry to interrupt you there, number one thing I say to people is that when someone is living in a suburb, they can only diversify to the surrounding suburbs.
Yes.
For two reasons. Number one, they don't have much information about either regional, interstate, or different pockets.
Correct.
Some people would just go on realtor.com and see what's going in the market, they see what their budget's like. Then the analysis which you do for the clients is slightly different or completely different on where to invest.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would not move out of their suburb, and that is a real thing.
Yeah.
लोग नहीं मूव करना चाहते अपने सबब से बिकॉज इट्स गिविंग देम अ कंफर्ट जोन कि यहीं पे मुझे पता है मार्केट के बारे में दिस इज वेयर आई वांट टू इन्वेस्ट
Correct.
and where the buyers agents and buyers advocates come in handy is about the time that they would invest on behalf of the clientele which they can't invest.
Correct.
Is that right?
That's correct. And there is actually a subtle difference between a buyer's advocate and an agent as well.
I saw that video.
Yes.
You know that video you made in your office the other day?
That's right.
That went viral.
Yes.
It's gone crazily viral.
Yeah, I think people need to know what really buyer's
Yeah.
agent and what is the key difference, and I
Correct.
don't mind bringing that here as well.
Please, let's talk about it.
Yeah. See, the thing is, the main aspect of our business is we are quite differentiated in the market.
Yes.
Not just because we've been there for so long, for last 7 years, but also because we look at the whole position of a client from top to bottom.
Correct.
We're looking at who are you first?
Yeah.
What is it that you are trying to achieve?
Right.
Where are you trying to go with your portfolio? What are you trying to build?
Yeah.
And why are you doing what you're trying to do?
Correct.
And most people know their why
Yeah.
of investment. Most people, we've spoken to thousands of people in these
Of
years.
course, yeah.
We've also seen people understand the sort of maybe far-sighted goal as well. Like, for example, people will come up with, okay, I want to make 100,000 passive income in 10 years.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
It's a good goal. It's very,
Correct.
very measurable. It is time bound,
Correct.
and most people will either answer the question like, "Okay, I want to buy two properties
Yeah.
or three properties in 2 years."
Right.
Yeah, but that's not a goal. That is a vehicle to get you to your goal.
Correct.
So we are focused on that goal element,
Right.
right? And if we are getting to the point of quite tangible goal, which means that 100,000 passive income in 10 years, 150,000 passive income in 10 years. I'm sure most of your clients are IT driven as well, and so are mine.
Exactly.
And doctors, lawyers, they're all high net worth clients.
Correct.
And they need an outcome.
True.
Right? They need a way to replace their 9 to 5.
Correct.
Right? And most people would tend to go towards business.
Yes.
Or for them the option is investments.
Exactly.
And most people, I think, in Australia feel quite comfortable with property as an investment.
Exactly.
So if this is going to become the biggest vehicle for you to drive your wealth for your future generations to come, do you really want to do it on your own?
Exactly. And especially, have you done this before?
Exactly.
And would you be in a position to take that risk
That's
if
what
it
I'm
goes
saying.
wrong?
Correct.
I've seen so many times, when people bought something and it hasn't appreciated.
Right.
And we've been selling agents for them. Sometimes it's hard for us to sort of help them understand that it is the market right now. It is not ideal if you want to hold on to it, because a lot of the time people will hold on to the same asset for another 4 years, hoping that it'll increase the value. In a suburb, especially, let's say, for an example, in Point Cook, there's a certain asset class which does not appreciate in value that much.
Yeah.
If you own that asset today, and if you want to have capital growth, or if you're hoping to achieve something out of it, let's say passive income, for an example, and you're holding on to that asset and your cash is stuck in that asset itself, just because you're hoping market to go up, are you better off selling it off, consulting someone, and then probably fast tracking? Sometimes what they say is, to go faster, you got to go slow down.
That's right. Actually, what they say is that you can go as fast as you want, but if your strategy is wrong, you're going in the wrong direction.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
And that's exactly where we come in as an advocate.
True.
And being the key difference. That
Exactly.
do you know where you're going?
Yeah.
Right? How do you achieve the 150K passive income?
True.
And what you're buying, is that even making sense? Is it adding up to that whole number?
Exactly.
That you can achieve that. So most people can get to the number if you sort of probe them.
Yeah.
But people don't have a plan. People
True.
don't know, what do I need today?
What, how?
How am I
when?
going to get to that 150K, 100K
Correct.
passive income
Yeah.
in that 10 years, 15 years, whatever that period is?
Exactly.
Right? So we've dealt with clients from age group of 18 all the way up to 70.
Right.
So that's a range we've dealt with, right?
Okay.
And they come with a very different risk appetite,
Yeah.
with different money on table as well.
Right. Tell
Right.
me more. Explain a little bit more. Give an example.
I will. A 22-year-old nurse from South Australia, right, comes with an aspiration of building wealth,
Okay.
right? And he already tends to buy a property for himself, which is
Okay.
an investment, and he
Okay.
is reinvesting, so he's
Right.
renting. But as soon as he settled on the property, the second day he actually thought that because that property was in South Australia and he lives in South Australia, he's been educating himself for quite some time, but now he needs someone who can actually help him diversify across
Correct.
different states. So he gives a call, and we are talking to him. And I said, okay, what's your goal? The goal is by 30 he wants to retire. I said, what about getting married and everything else? And oh, that's later. So I'm like, okay, with your current income, you're very young. With your current income, how are you going to achieve that, right? And his question was, I will travel wherever I can, because if I travel in my current job, I will get paid overtime. I will make money. I will save money to make this work. So we did a strategy for him. We said, okay, how are you going to get to that retirement number, that 100K passive income in the next 8 years, right? So he now has a number to work with. He now knows how many properties he need to buy, and he now knows what it's going to take to achieve that and where the current gap is.
Planning ahead.
Planning ahead the
Planning
right
ahead.
way.
Exactly.
Right? So we bought him a second property in
Okay.
Queensland.
Okay.
Right? So that's settled.
Right.
Now he's working on his third one.
Right.
The fourth one will be commercial.
Okay.
The fifth one will be Airbnb.
Yeah.
So there's options there.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But then if you're going to buy everything around the 5 kilometers,
Yeah.
which most people do,
Exactly.
because that's what they know,
True.
you're not going to be able to build a sustainable portfolio that's
Correct.
going to be there for you for generations to come.
Exactly.
Right? A lot of us are holding on to it emotionally as well.
Yeah.
Right? Now talk to someone who's in 40s. They've already probably spoken and they've had some investments already. They've had their own house. They've got some money and they're stuck. They can't borrow anymore.
Yeah.
And they're waiting for interest rates to go down.
True.
But have you even looked at what you have? Is it even making sense? 10 years ago was different.
True that.
Point Cook, for example, 10 years ago
Yeah.
was a different growth level to where it is now.
Exactly.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Go
Probably
for it.
we're sitting at a median price point around $1 million in Point Cook right
Point
now.
Cook now we're sitting at about sort of just shy of 850
850. All
right,
right.
right now.
So let's say it's 850.
Yeah.
Right. You think it's going to double in 10 years?
Point Cook, again, it's a crystal ball question. What I would say is that Point Cook does appreciate very fast and it slows very fast. Right. Now, to answer the question, what I would say is that there's an asset class which does grow
Yeah.
pretty fast.
Fair enough.
Now, that's a change in the trend in the market too. Trend change, पता क्या है? The trend of buying for the families, upgraders, those properties have gone up a lot higher. And then the first home buyer properties are also surviving really well. And the ones where either the families are looking at upgrading and they're not suitable to them, they're stagnant within the price bandwidth of 7 to 850. Right? Depending on again how the house is presented. So if you're talking about a house which is someone's future 10 years future plan and a house for them to live, kids are growing up, they need more privacy, parents are coming in, that's a real change in the trend. And now there's another change I will tell you.
Okay.
Within our Indian community especially.
Okay.
You know what's happening?
What's happening?
Kids are growing up,
Yeah.
बेटा बड़ा हो गया, अब उसकी शादी भी करनी है,
हाँ.
तो उसके लिए एक एक्स्ट्रा रूम और चाहिए, तो 5 की जगह आप 6 बेडरूम वाले भी ढूंढ रहे हैं.
Wow.
So there is definitely a shift in that market which is going to be seen over the next 10 years when the kids are growing up. So because we were young families about 10 years ago, and now we're sitting in the age group of kids are now maybe in their 13 to 18, and in the next couple of years, they will be getting married. A lot
Yeah.
of the people would not move out of their houses,
Yep.
and they want much more larger houses as well.
So what about downsizes then?
Downsizes trend is there, but not that much right now.
Okay.
There is definitely increase,
Yeah.
but what happens is that we get replaced by more first home buyers.
Yeah. So I guess the market is more of a pivoted more towards the family, young families at the moment, right?
Owner
Going
occupiers
towards
predominantly.
the mid-age families
Correct.
who've got children turning up to
True.
15 to 18 years old and soon to get married in their 25
Exactly.
or 30s, right?
And
So
if, sorry to interrupt, if your question was
Yeah.
about investors and
Yeah.
investment,
Yeah.
then the answer to that question is that you would probably get maybe 1 or 2 investors in, let's say in one campaign which is super busy.
yeah.
In a super busy campaign, we're probably getting about 60 to 80 groups throughout 4 weeks if it's an auction.
Yeah.
Right? And out of that, you will probably get about 4
Yeah.
to 6 investors
Yeah. Okay.
only.
Yeah.
Which means
So majority is first home buyers, right? Home
majority
buyers.
first home buyers are owner
Home buyers,
occupiers.
correct.
You would find investors. However, those investors do have a certain cap.
Yeah, they do. And this is what I'm saying, because you're seeing trend shifts and
Exactly.
you're looking at more luxury or bigger bedrooms.
Correct.
That's not what investors are buying.
Exactly.
What investors are buying is the low level stock between the 500, 700,
5 to
which
600,
doesn't move
700.
much.
Exactly.
Right?
Correct.
So the point is, but people don't know this intel. What that end up doing is,
True.
I lived in Point Cook for 12 years. It's a good market. I should buy the next one in Point Cook.
What they sometimes look for is
Yeah.
that 2 years before the same properties were going for 850, now they're going for 750 or 780.
Yeah.
I'm saving money.
Yeah,
I'm getting
100%.
it for less. But what they don't see is that some of the times that asset may not move much.
Yes.
Because if there's a shift in the market towards a positive side, that property may go up to about 880, perhaps. But if you really do the numbers, your buying, your holding cost, stamps,
Yeah.
then your legals,
You're
your
not
bank
making
settlement
money.
fees,
Yeah.
and then if you were to sort of offload it for, let's say, in 2 years' time, your holding cost for 2 years, the interest, plus maintenance, plus property management fee.
Yeah.
Then you look at the selling cost, marketing.
Yeah.
You're not making much.
That's right. So with so much supply in the West that we have, and with all obviously people still trying to buy an affordable homes, even for investment purposes, under $500,000, 600K, whether it's Manor Lakes, whether it's Werribee, for example, or even Hoppers Crossing
Yeah.
or Tarnit, right? People are looking scouting deals for that, right?
Correct.
However, what they don't realize is that you're only limited with what you know.
Exactly.
Right? And therefore, when you have someone by your side, especially like with our services, we are national.
True.
We can take people to places that they've not even heard of.
Exactly.
And can make money in today's market,
True.
right? And that's what happened last 3 years.
Yeah.
Victoria's dead. right? Not because Point Cook is bad or any
Correct.
other area is. Every area is great, right? The problem is
The
government, right?
timing and the government, the
That's
timing, the
right,
policies
right?
and
The
everything
policies
else.
has not worked for Victoria,
Correct.
but those 3 years, our clients made 30, 40, 50% growth, while Victoria hasn't moved a needle.
I know so many people who
So
have.
if you were in the
Exactly.
right spot at the right time, you would
Correct.
make money.
Timing is critical.
Its timing is critical.
If you go back 15 years before in
Yeah.
Point Cook,
Yes.
I'm selling a house right now. It's on the market. they they bought that house in Alamanda
Yeah.
about 15 years ago. I think for about circa 350.
Wow.
You do the
That's,
numbers.
yeah. Can I buy it back again for 350 cash?
Alamanda.
Alamanda.
So again, that's when the suburb was just developing
I
at that
know.
point.
I understand. Yeah.
So it's definitely the timing, as you said.
Yes, that was when the government was handing 35,000 to first home buyers for
True.
those grants that came in GFC time.
Exactly.
I remember that time, right?
Exactly.
So we've seen shift in journeys in different areas in suburbs. So I think going back to the original question of buyer agent and advocate, I think the lens is important of what you're
Correct.
trying to do.
Exactly.
And I believe people need someone who can be like the mentor.
Yeah, true.
Not only just buying properties for helping
Exactly.
them buy properties, because that's just time equation that you're giving it to someone else to do it, that buyer agent does.
True.
But you need someone who is continuously trying to help you
True.
stay on track
Exactly.
and get the game going.
You can go off track really quick. I mean, if you look at the world class players,
Yes.
right? They're great players, right? And they still have coaches.
Everyone needs coaches, and therefore in property, unfortunately, that role doesn't exist, right? Accountants don't talk property. Brokers are not meant to talk about properties with clients
Correct.
about finance, and most people do tell them that you should. I can't tell you about property or markets, but customers
Yes.
end up talking to accountants and brokers.
True.
People don't see much value in financial planners, so they
Yeah.
don't go to financial planners.
Because the accountant will give them the knowledge what they know about.
That's right, and they're not supposed to be talking more than tax, right?
True.
Everyone's got a role to play.
Exactly.
Financial planners talk more to equities and other stuff than
Equities
property.
and mutual
So
funds and
that's
other
what
things,
they're
yeah.
meant to be writing your
True.
statement of purpose
Purpose and
for,
stuff,
and,
yeah,
and write that
exactly.
down for you. So who's really helping?
Exactly.
Right? Who knows about the stuff?
True.
And who is putting different strategies together to help that?
Exactly.
So
And I
there's
think
no
the
such
trend
thing.
is changing.
Trends are changing.
Trend is
Yes.
changing. In the last sort of 6 months, I've seen the buyers are becoming a lot more astute, especially investors.
Yeah.
They know the value of having support.
Yeah, they are. And this is because buyer agents as an industry is forming.
Yeah.
It's very new to Australia.
True.
Only about 10 years old.
Yeah.
We started the business 7 years ago. So
Yeah.
we've seen a lot of new entrants right now to the
Exactly.
market who themselves, unfortunately, are still learning the curve.
Exactly.
But those who are looking for a service like that,
True.
they can see the value straight away. Right? But the problem that I see right now, we are seeing in the industry is that who is the right person for me? How do I choose the right buyer, advocate, or agent
True.
whom I can lay that trust on?
Exactly.
If I don't have a referral, then how does that work from a Google review perspective?
Exactly.
And these are like very common questions, right?
True.
And the insights are not gained unless you've actually had an experience with someone,
True that.
right?
Exactly.
Like you have served so many people,
True.
helping selling people.
Exactly.
But we all have odd people who are not happy with the service, right?
Correct.
But that doesn't mean that's a majority of our cases.
Correct.
Right?
Exactly.
There'll always be an exception.
It's all about expectations, what someone has, because at the end of the day, what I say to everyone is that you might have an expectation on a certain level.
Yeah,
Industry and the process works in its own way.
that's right.
No matter how you think,
That's correct.
it has to work in a direction it has to go because market is market.
Correct.
It works in its own way.
Yeah. So let me ask you, this is an interesting one because I think I want to crack this for your viewers today.
Please.
Whether it's a seller agent, buyer's agent, or any service for that
Yeah.
matter. What do you think that why should people come to Jazz as a selling agent when there are so many already in Point Coco even around? Right?
Good question.
What is so special about why do people connect with you? What is that difference?
I suppose there's element of couple of things that come together.
Sure. Okay.
Now, number one thing, this is not what I think I feel.
Yeah.
Is what my clients say. It's about that long-term relationship, the trust. Now, majority of our clientele comes in when there's a level of trust, and they've seen the processes. There's systems in place. It's not just about yes, someone wants to sell a home. let's get the home organized, let's get the photos done, and hopefully it works out well.
Sure.
It's again about sitting down with them and understanding what their goal is, what are they trying to achieve out of it, is it actually right time for them to sell or not. I sometimes tell them don't sell right now, versus just saying, okay, well, if you're going in as a selling agent, then yes, you're a commodity. But when you sit down with the clients and you help them understand the timing in the year, based on what their goal and agenda is out of the whole process, does it align with their expectations? Would it get to the outcome that they're trying to achieve,
Yeah.
or would it serve their purpose? So sitting down and having a plan in place is critical. So what I like to do with my clients is understanding their why as well, and understanding why they want to achieve and when they want to get to that other side of the process. I had a client meeting last night. Right, I sold them the house
Yeah.
about roughly 6 years ago.
Okay.
Right, 6 years ago, I sold them a house. They are now contemplating selling. Now, the question that I asked them was, are you sure? Have you made all the decisions? Have you done all the numbers? Is there any way you can hold on to this asset? Because they're moving into a new home. They bought a new home, they're moving in. And the question is that I'm always a big believer of holding assets as long as you possibly can. Again, subject to if it's going
Of
to
course.
potentially perform well.
That's right.
Right. Now, they were not 100% sure when I asked them the question. I said, let's first sit down and understand whether it's the right thing to do or not.
That's right.
So we sat down, and when I left the appointment, we're still not there to make a decision whether we should sell or rent. They were planning to sell. I feel they should wait, right? So it's all about the process during the journey itself, having those systems in place. Now, my job is not just selling a house, it's about making sure how we maximize
Yeah.
the return. If I've got any knowledge and expertise that I can bring on the table, help them achieve more. I've got so many recent examples where the manufactured growth strategy has worked so well, which we have discussed so many
Yes.
times in the past
That's
couple
true.
of months.
Yep.
6 Bliss Street comes to my mind, just recent example. When I saw the house before we sold it, obviously when we did the assessment of the numbers were sitting at about 750 to 780 in its current condition at that time. So we reversed the numbers, and then we looked at, if we were to add value in this asset, is it worth it, right? So the value add was about $22,000 in there. Having that open discussion with the vendor takes a lot of courage, because you're making them spend that money
Yeah.
on the asset, and it should perform well.
Yeah. And you've got your credibility on the line.
Online,
Because if you're
exactly.
not after putting more money from their pocket,
Correct.
if you can't sell it at the price,
Exactly.
then it's you on the line.
Exactly. And it is a bit of pressure.
Yeah.
I understand that. But we also want to make sure we completely make them understand the whole journey.
Yeah.
That what are they thinking would happen after they spend the money. There were a few clients where we said, this may be the spend and this is where you can achieve. And they were hoping to get a lot more higher, which
Right.
is not doable practically. So we put those plans on hold and said, let's just go on the market as it is. So you're better off going on the market without doing any works. So that home there was assessed around 750 to 780 mark, max maybe push it to about 8. 21,000 spent, went for 925 and few $100.
Wow.
Right? So, and days on market was about 54 days to sort of push that equity out. So that is something that we love to do for our clients, and we put our passion and love into it to ensure that they get the maximum out. Now, before I started real estate, as I mentioned maybe in the past, that in property development where I used to work before, we've done these projects ourselves. So it's proven manufactured growth. Now, another client of mine, he had a property on a 380 square meters, and what price they purchased at, what price they could get now. They've seen some of the projects that we've sold after renovating or adding value to it. They said, if I do it the same thing here, would I be able to get more? So some people get this misconception that just spending money will make them more money.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't happen that way.
That's right.
Sometimes it's the asset class as well. It's the land size, the built up area. How much would that potential be? And some of the clients may spend 10, 20,000 on a house, which may not give them the return. So you're better off selling for the equity that is already there. So to answer your question, it's about the process, doing the right thing, and making sure that you sit down with them
Yeah.
and seeing if there's a potential.
Yeah,
to get more.
and I actually see very less agents
Yeah.
doing that. Most people will act like a transaction. You've taken the listing on,
True.
you've just trying to sell it. But this advocacy aspect,
Yes.
educating the client,
Exactly.
seeing what more can you achieve out of this, can you squeeze more dollars out of this?
Correct.
Just because a first home buyer might really like that,
True.
people buy through emotions, and it actually makes a lot more sense
Exactly.
with the manufactured growth, with
Exactly.
cosmetic renovations. So I see that as a clear distinction
Yeah.
where I've seen your properties
Thank
sell
you.
at the higher
Yeah.
price because of that, and of course your vendors are going to be happy with that, right?
Of course.
The same thing.
They better
same,
be.
That's right. So the
They better
same.
be happy
Now,
after achieving that 200,000 more.
that's right. So what happens is in the same context,
Yeah.
if there is a buyers usually out there who are directly coming to you, maybe investors, maybe home buyers, people want to see good places, good houses, like less
True.
issues, less maintenance,
Exactly.
fresh new paint,
Psychological factor.
psychological aspect,
Yeah.
modern tapware,
Correct.
and you've got these modern lights going.
True.
People like that aspect,
Of course.
right? And that basically means that's where the value sits,
Exactly.
right? In the eyes of the beholder.
True.
So now, if the buyer is coming directly to you,
True.
now whether it's investor or not, whether it's an auction or not, they still get carried away with that number.
Exactly.
Now, as a buyer's agent,
Let's talk about it. Now it's the interesting part.
yeah, the interesting part is a little bit different.
That's actually a good point you about to raise. If I'm understanding correctly where you're heading there.
Yeah, no.
Now tell me more. When you go to a property,
Yeah.
like as a buyer's advocate, you see a house which is not done up. Do
Yeah.
you see potential for your clients versus the houses done up?
We've actually only buy properties that are not done up.
Right.
So
Why is that?
And that's across the whole country, actually, not
Yeah.
even just in one place, right?
Yeah.
Because what happens is we only buy old properties.
Would you normally
for-
say it to a fixer upper and say, "What a beautiful property"?
Actually,
Because you're looking past
I actually talk to the clients this way when we look at the building and pest report, on an old property like that, because we buy properties built in 1950s, 60s,
Yeah.
70s, 80s. I have a property built in 1900
Yeah, wow.
in my portfolio.
Yeah, wow.
It's in Victoria.
Yeah, wow.
It's a beautiful Victorian home.
Right.
Dual occupancy on a 1300 square meter block.
Nice.
Only for 420,000.
Yeah, wow.
Right.
That's enticing.
I picked that property. It needed the whole replacement on stumps.
Okay.
And I knew that upfront.
Yeah,
So
right.
we obviously negotiated the price down by
Of course.
$50,000-$60,000, which we
Right.
knew. I also knew the works was going to be around 55 grand, and I
Okay.
also knew it needed 12 months to get the job done.
Right. Okay.
Now there are two sets of tenants because dual.
Right.
Exactly in 12 months, all we did is pull the equity out, got that same builder to go in there and actually replace it without me even being there.
Yeah. Right.
Now it's got another 100 years of life.
Exactly.
Did I make money in that?
Of course.
100%.
Exactly.
Right? I'm still yet to do the cosmetic part of it, so I can
Yeah.
put on Airbnb.
True that.
Right?
Exactly.
So when I look at a building report
Yeah.
and I'm like, these are the issues, defect, tick, 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 tick.
And you love it.
Consumer is saying, customer says, oh my God, so many issues.
Yeah, I'm not
and
gonna
I'm
buy
saying, I can only smell money.
Yeah. True.
Where can I make money?
Yeah.
And that is the difference.
True.
It's seeing beyond what you see on your
Exactly.
5 fingers, right? Can you see there's potential?
And exactly what I normally see in a property when I say, you know what, this home, let's flip it around.
Yes. So the risk appetite is extremely important as a buyer's advocate for us to understand where is the customer in their journey,
True.
age groups financially,
True.
and can they even have that appetite to do that.
Exactly.
Lots of old properties, just because the age is 1960, doesn't mean that the house is run down. It may have
Exactly.
already been renovated, like you may have done that already.
Exactly.
Right, in Point Cook you don't find those type of
True.
age groups, but in regional Victoria
You'll
it's
find
all over the
heaps
place,
of them,
and
yeah.
there's all over Australia.
Exactly.
But like Point Cook, we're talking about 2000, maybe 1995, 1995.
Predominantly
2000,
towards
2000
the
plus.
Strand and the
Yes,
Boardwalk
Strand,
Estate,
yeah.
you'll find the 1900s.
90s,
Yeah,
1900s,
yeah.
right? So, but 1990s,
1990s,
but
yeah.
most of them are around 2008 plus.
Correct.
Right? So they're fairly new as well.
Yeah, exactly.
It just needs a cosmetic uplift.
There's so much
mod-
potential for some people. I would add to there as well, because if I see a property,
Yeah.
and that's where someone with the right kind
Yeah,
of
the buyers are buzzing. Like, I mean,
yeah.
sorry.
There's so many buyers out there
Yeah.
who would let go of an asset
Yeah.
because it needs cosmetic work.
Yeah.
Some people would say, needs paint, carpet, needs switches,
Yeah.
needs aircon,
Yeah.
needs solar. And I'm like, seriously?
Yeah, like my 2 cents to this is, when I look at it, I say if you're not buying a problem and you can't solve the problem, then you're not making money
And
because
entrepreneurs.
you will leave it to the market to dictate your outcome.
Entrepreneurs and people with
Exactly,
that
there's a
mindset,
difference.
they'll make profit and
Anything,
equity. Yeah.
anything. You're in a business if you solve a problem, right? You
Exactly.
you save time and money for people.
Correct.
You're making money.
Exactly.
That's how simple it is.
True that.
Same thing with property.
Exactly.
Old looking, old fashioned property, if you
Mm.
put energy in it with new paint, new stuff, new things going,
Exactly.
you're changing the energy of the house,
True.
and that changes the value,
Exactly.
right? And it's not that you have to do the work.
Correct.
You just have to maybe likely project manage or
Correct.
rely on the right people to do the job.
Exactly.
And it doesn't take that long either.
And there's so much support out there to learn renovations.
100%. And there are people who want to flip, right? They want to flip in 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. And we are
Correct.
always looking at opportunities.
Yes.
But most buyers are like, okay, Anubhav, if you have a project and you're in it, we're happy to invest blindly, put money blindly on you. And I'm like, that's a bit
Yeah,
dangerous
true,
spot to be
exactly.
in.
But again, you've gained that trust.
Yes.
You've gained that trust. You've set the examples.
Yeah. So look, we've done so much, like in from acreages to Airbnbs
Yeah,
to
exactly.
renovations, subdivision type properties, and
Yeah.
commercials. Now, commercial is a really hot cake for right now.
Yeah.
It's going really well during this high interest rate market.
Exactly.
People can see different
Yeah,
options with
true.
us, and I think that authority, when I work with our clients,
Yeah.
that gives them confidence.
True.
And I think that's what they're looking for, even from your perspective, when
True.
you're suggesting, let's spend 10 grand, 20 grand here, you'll make another 30 grand here.
Correct.
Right? And they're looking at your confidence.
Yes.
Right? And I think people want to get educated that way. People
I'll
want
give you an example
advocacy.
on that. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
One more property around the corner from where we are sitting right now. It's about 2 streets away from here.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you from the start. Know this person for the last few years.
Yeah.
Had a chat with him. He's a person who loves to give opportunity to the right people.
Yeah.
Right. So we had a fair bit of discussions. He was looking at buying some commercial properties, and we were regularly in touch. When the time came to sell, we met. We gave them the feedback. In our ideal world, I said, "This is how you should do it. Get the tenants out, and get the house ready." The house has a lot of potential. It had and still has, and they obviously decided to go down a different path. They ended up listing with another agency. Right. Now, because that agent promised them to get them the dream price with the tenants in the property, didn't work because the feedback was getting relayed back slowly in drip feeds. Someone is not liking this. They were fixing things in installments. And that is for someone who's listening.
Yeah.
That if you are looking at potentially going on the market, you can't fix one thing when you get a feedback.
Yeah, true.
You have to sort of wait before you launch and do things that the buyers would normally see. Think from a buyer's perspective. So, long story short, 212 days exact dot on the market, and it didn't sell.
Yep. Oh my God.
They got the tenants out after 1.5 months of being on the market. So there was a gap. They couldn't do open homes because the tenants were moving out.
Yeah.
And they were getting offers.
Yeah.
They were getting offers circa high sevens to just about 800,000.
Yeah.
Their expectation was around 870,
Yeah.
which was above the average market price at that time.
Yeah.
Because similar homes were selling between 750 to 800. The offer that they received was not bad. However, because the expectation was quite high, and the real estate agent obviously promised them, "I'll get you what you want," and they did not sit down and looked it in their eyes and said, "This is something good, and you should take it without getting the tenants out. It's saving you a lot of time and efforts." So obviously they let it go, and then thereafter no offers for another 3.5 months.
Right.
They got the tenants out. They kept improving few things here and there. They did not change any photography.
Okay.
So photos were same. Imagine if this wall
Yeah.
is charcoal.
Yeah.
Someone says, "I don't like this wall color,"
Yeah.
and you change it to white,
Yeah.
and you haven't uploaded your new photos.
Yeah.
How would someone know in the market that it's
changed white.
changed?
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's when obviously their patience was at the peak, right? And then I got a phone call from the client and said, "I want you to come in. I want you to see what's happening." And then we went back again, had a discussion, sat down, and again reverse engineered everything. So the discussion that we had was, okay, we need to pull this down,
Yeah. True.
stop everything what we're doing. we need to do this. Now, and they said, I don't have time. I said, just sit back and relax. We'll do it. So roughly 2 weeks off the market again. The house was fully painted in white color, some feature walls, some other moldings, and some wall lights
Yeah.
and some LED lights were changed. Nothing too fancy, just bare minimum what's needed. Because again, when the moment we walked in and saw the floor plan location, it was taking majority of the boxes.
Sure.
Now, what you have to do is you just need to sort of tweak the nuts and bolts, and then a bit of change in the landscaping, removal of the trees and shrubs and overgrown vegetation at the front, off the market. Now, got everything done, changed the facade from off-white colors into white, changed the garage door color. Everything was completely transformed. Completely, because
In
the
two
property
weeks?
in 2 weeks.
Wow.
In 2 weeks.
Wow.
Dot 2 weeks. Everything was done simultaneously. The trades were working. So we've been doing it from a long time now.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
so it's so
It's like a cookie cutter for you.
exactly.
Boom, 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 boom.
Trades know. We
Yeah.
have all the regular trades.
Yeah, true.
They know when to finish
They know
and
what
who's
to do, where
doing
to do.
well.
Yeah.
And all the trades that we have, painters, electricians, landscapers, cleaners, our pest control guys, everyone is in sync with each other.
Yeah, okay.
They communicate together.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not there.
It's almost like the team working together
Team
with
is
each
working
other.
together.
Yeah.
And I visit the sites, I organize everything, we visit everyone, visit the client, and everyone visits the property together. So we plan everything in one hit. So again, that's obviously a different set of conversation. Property went on the market. First open home on a Thursday.
Yeah.
11 groups turned up, 3 offers out of that. Saturday, we had about 17 groups again.
Wow.
All those groups from Thursday came back again on Saturday.
Wow.
Had 5 more offers. So we had 8 offers on the property. Went under offer on Monday next week.
So this is the property where 4 months nothing happened,
To 212 days.
and then within 2 weeks you turned it around,
Yeah,
and that same weekend you've got 8 offers.
correct.
Fire out.
And it sold for 895.
Oh my God.
895.
That's what emotions do. to
Now
things.
it's unconditional. Is it safe to say I was scratching my head too? Right? Would I pay that?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Right? So, as you just said, someone who sees value
Yeah.
and someone who is prepared to pay for it, we might feel that it's a record price.
Yeah.
I've stopped using that because at the end of the day, if someone was seeing value and they've got appetite to afford it,
Yeah.
it's not a record price, it's a market value.
Mm.
It's a new market value.
That's right.
So someone was prepared to pay for that. But again, at the same time, that tweak, and you know how much was spent on that house?
How much?
10,600.
You got to be kidding me.
Yep.
That's all.
Landscaping, front and back, full house painting, front facade painted, LED downlights.
I think I need your team at my house.
Yeah, yeah. 10,600 in total.
Okay.
And then obviously you add up staging on top. I'm talking about Reno.
Yeah. I'm now talking Renault. That's what I
Renault.
want.
Yeah, Renault.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I think this is where I say that as a clear distinction,
Exactly.
because you need someone who can be on your side
Yeah.
and give you the right options, advice, because
True.
the expertise exists. You cannot learn this on internet or do a course and then figure it out. Okay, what's next?
Exactly.
Understanding markets,
True that.
what's going to happen. No one knows the end result. But if
Exactly.
the approach is right and you are being guided by the right people,
True.
your outcome is
True.
likely going to be better than what you would do on your own.
Of course.
Or go with someone who's just trading it for you.
You can make less mistakes if you have someone mentoring you.
That's
or
right.
coaching you as well.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I'm pretty sure you've done the same. You've obviously invested for yourself.
Yeah.
You've seen things. You've experienced it yourself firsthand.
Yeah.
Same thing with myself. I did a lot of projects on my
Yourself,
own
yeah.
after obviously working in the organization
Yeah.
I used to work in before.
Yeah.
So we've done this a lot of times. So because testing it on a client, it's a big decision.
It is. And I think you've done this now for you experience in this space, right?
Yeah.
So, and excuse me, I mean, you know the market in and out.
Exactly.
Especially in areas of Point Cook that you operate in.
True.
So you can't go wrong because you know the next door sold for this much. You know, this is what's
Exactly.
happened. This is what I can do. This is what I can
Exactly.
make things happen. And there are a lot of people I know are making full-time income just from renovation flips, right?
Exactly.
And it's a great game.
Exactly.
It is a way out for you if you love property.
Yeah.
It's a great way to flip and run it like a business.
Exactly.
But what you need is a good team and the
True.
right team. Otherwise,
To
it's
guide
a
you.
chaos.
Exactly.
It is a chaos.
Exactly.
And with my clients as well, like, we are trying to add this service to help them with reno flips. But what actually ends up happening is we've had, as I said, we're not in the normal economic conditions.
True.
We've had skilled labor problems all the way through
Exactly.
the last few years. It's starting to get better.
Yeah.
But it's not best in many areas.
True.
I can tell you, like, we bought a lot of properties in Townsville in Queensland, and there was this huge storm that came through just in February, March this
Okay.
year, and the roofers are super busy because they're trying
Yeah,
to
wow.
fix every single roof out there because they're old houses.
Interesting.
And the roof's gone crazy. Tenants have left houses,
Okay.
and there's water dripping off. And obviously, that was an
Yeah.
event that occurred then. Not everyone was adequately had insured their properties either.
True.
And you can't get a roofer out there, right? Just to give a quote for months,
Yeah, wow.
not even weeks.
For
Right?
months.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And we've
Yeah.
had one of our client in that situation.
Yeah.
We then try to drip in and then, work with the property management and
Yeah.
try to get him a quote, which has happened.
Yeah.
Once the quote has come, they can't do the works for the next 3 months.
Wow.
Now,
That's
the
a real
value of the
problem.
property has gone significantly up in just 10
Yeah.
months, right? We're talking 30% up already.
Yeah, wow.
So you can't complain on growth.
Correct.
But what do? I can't put a tenant in there,
Yeah, true.
right? So trades in many areas and other parts of the country is
True.
struggling right now.
Exactly.
You just don't have it right now because when events like this happen,
Yeah.
you can imagine that the demand is so high with very little supply.
If my trades are listening, I would say thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I guess if you have a good team,
Yeah.
keep them, retain them, do whatever you need to do.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it's not easy.
And the thing is
We were
that
thinking of flying someone from Melbourne to Townsville.
wow. And I think sometimes it is something that you have to do sometimes,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Look, the thing is, there's a problem.
True.
How do you solve the problem?
True.
If you do it on your own, you are going
You'll
to be
spend
scratching
more
your head.
as well, and you'll
If
make
you have the
mistakes
team,
at the same
then you
time.
know what to do with it. They
True.
know they can find some options
Yeah.
for you and get you moving. right?
Exactly.
And I think that's where those type of businesses and professionalism that you show on the ground will last long.
True that.
Right? And
True that.
and going back to the question, how do you select the right people?
Yeah.
I think it's the answer is in the stories. The answer is in the connectivity.
Yeah.
Right? If whoever is listening to this,
Yeah.
these are real stories, right? These are real
True.
outcomes. These are real challenges on the
Correct.
ground.
Exactly.
And then you can see at the center of this, people who are on the ground,
Yeah.
professionally trying to help,
True.
put these things together, stitch the whole problems
Exactly.
up, and actually say, okay, let's go. This is the solution plan. This is how it's going to work.
Because obviously
That's what
you've
you want.
been there, done that.
You want the
now
doctor.
you can actually then help someone to understand and get them to sort of divert.
That's right.
If
I don't. I mean, no one in today's time. I don't
True.
think people want a GP. They don't want a Panadol every time you go.
True.
You got a fever. Right?
Exactly.
You want specialist.
True that.
You got to find specialists.
Exactly.
Right, and that's where I think it comes with a lot of experience.
Exactly.
The elements of things that may have gone wrong, and so many thousands of clients to talk to, service them.
True.
And that comes with experience. No book is going to teach you that.
Exactly.
You can't learn to. You can learn to drive, but you can't drive perfectly on day 2 of your on
True.
freeway.
Exactly.
Right? You've got to try your.
It takes
You've got to
time.
put the hours in there.
You can't learn the car
Exactly.
sometimes without a coach.
You can skill up your craft,
Yeah.
but you can't get experienced overnight.
Exactly.
It just doesn't exist.
So tell me quickly, if in a brief, I would say,
Yeah.
if you were to look at a property,
Yeah. Sure.
would you buy Airbnb, a property for Airbnb or standard rental in Victoria?
We did that just recently. We've actually bought one in Wodonga, and it was a fully renovated property that came to the market. We
Okay.
bought it for 625
Okay.
on a 800 square meter block,
Nice.
3-bedder. It is a weatherboard, but it's beautiful home.
Right.
And this is the client's 5th property. 4th
Nice.
one was a commercial.
Okay.
So the 5th one, we've bought the property. All they're going to do is furnish the property. We've hooked them up to the local Airbnb manager.
Yeah.
And the property is going to be running as Airbnb. So instead of 10,000 negative for the year in cash flow, they're going to be 9,000 positive in cash flow.
Yeah, wow.
So you're going to be flipping $19,000 in cash flow just by changing the strategy from going normal tenancy to
Exactly.
Airbnb,
Yeah.
right? And that's big for someone to turn that option around. It doesn't mean that every street on Wodonga is good. So you have to
Exactly.
be very careful what you're doing. It just because I put
True.
a name out there doesn't mean everyone just go and buy in Wodonga.
Everything
Don't
in
do that,
Wodonga is, yeah.
right?
Exactly.
There's also scarcity of Airbnb managers out there.
True.
So we have to look at the whole thing.
Plus, you have to pick the right ones too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of due diligence around
True.
this space, and therefore every strategy comes with its own risk appetite and
True.
pros and cons.
Exactly.
It is not for everyone.
True.
Because Airbnb is like a business.
Yeah.
So like
you have to treat it as one, and
Correct.
And I suppose you have to have that from an investor's point of view. You need to think like you are about to start a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, exactly. And the nerves don't settle until it actually there's a guest booking, right? Because what happens during low seasons, right? And if you look at the numbers broadly, like okay, I am worked on an occupancy of 70% on Airbnb, right? Now that 70% is real. So there is 30% of element of the
Yeah.
whole year that's going to remain vacant.
Correct.
But if that 30% happens to be a continuous 3-month period,
Yeah.
because that is your low period of the whole year,
Correct.
you're going to be sweating,
Yeah. True.
right? And
True.
that appetite is required,
True that.
right? Because
that.
if you're on the absolute threshold of your numbers,
Brings on, yeah, of the
and you're not
savings
going to be able
and-
to digest that very well.
True.
So this analysis,
You would then be forced to do things, and then the decisions you will be making
that's right.
are not rational.
That's why for the client that we bought Airbnb, we didn't decide to buy that as the first, second, third, fourth, but fifth property.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because we had to string the whole thing in such a way
True.
that there is a fallback plan on other portfolio that's built which has got 500k equity in less than 18 months,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
right? 500k equity in
Yeah,
less than
wow.
18 months
Wow.
on 4 properties.
Yeah, wouldn't mind the spare cash.
Yeah, I know. So they're super happy
Yeah.
because what you've just what I'm trying to articulate is that the specialist knows, can see your game,
True.
can see the end result
True.
based on your understanding, based
Yeah.
on what it is. So when people ask me, where should I invest now, which is a hot market, like you asked me the
Yeah.
first question in
You
front,
haven't answered that.
which I haven't yet answered, and because I don't want your viewers to go away. I want
Yeah,
to
of
see to
course.
the end.
Let's try to find an answer if we can.
So,
if we can.
so it's a very hard question to answer point blank.
Oh no.
You know why?
I know.
Because if I give you an area
Yeah.
right now on this call, I don't know, thousands of people listening to this would be
Yeah.
like, oh my God, Anubhav said this, I'm going to go and do that.
Yeah.
But actually, that might not be the right thing for them.
True.
Right? So
True.
it's not actually about the area.
Exactly.
It's about what is right for you.
True.
You might have already had 4 properties in Victoria, for example, if I say it's Victoria.
Exactly.
But actually, your portfolio needs to be diversified. You
Exactly.
actually need to go to Queensland.
Exactly.
Although that might not be the best thing right now.
Exactly.
As an example.
Exactly.
I'm not saying that's the case, but as an
As
example.
an example. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, so then it comes down to individual.
True.
That what is needed in my case today.
Exactly.
And therefore, this is the thing that no AI can solve that, right? No book can tell you that, right?
Exactly.
No amateur buyer agent can give you that option and
Yeah.
a reason because they haven't seen it themselves,
Yeah.
right? And that's why, and other professional bodies
Yeah.
don't go beyond their limits that we talked about. So, what do?
Go to the
People are
specialist.
forced to go to do it themselves because that doesn't exist.
True.
So this emerging trends of buyer's advocate and a qualified experienced buyer advocate, like my experience in property is 25 years, right? First one was commercial when I was 18 years old.
Exactly.
So I understand the value. I understand. I made mistakes here when I came in 2003. I lost money.
Yeah.
I got educated at the highest level.
Yeah.
I train myself. I understand how 1% investors make
Right.
money, including the renovations we talked about.
Exactly.
So we know how to play the game.
True.
I have a rooming house right now for 1.3 million off market.
Yeah.
Brand new built,
Yeah.
right, in Victoria, in regional Victoria. It's going to fetch a gross income of close to 130 to 150k
Yeah. Wow.
per annum.
Yeah. There you go.
After all expenses, you're still looking at 40,000 net
Yeah,
positive.
right. Positive,
Right, with the current occupancy. Bang opposite university.
Yeah. Wow.
Right, bang opposite university.
Wow.
For 1.3 mil, it's a done deal.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not trying to sell this property
Yeah,
because
of
I've already
course.
got a buyer for it.
Yeah.
So please don't call me for that. But the point is,
Can I see it?
of course you can offline. But the point is,
Yeah.
is this right for everyone? No, the
Right.
answer is no.
Exactly.
Right? And would you buy a rooming house in any area just because
Not
rooming house is right
really.
for you? No,
No.
not really.
No.
Try buying it in the west, your occupancy rates are down. Right?
Exactly.
So it's not the right area to do that in west of
True.
Melbourne, for
True.
example, right?
True.
So going back to the question, which is a hot market, where to buy,
Yeah.
is linked with
It
strategy,
depends
linked
on
with risk
your.
appetite, linked with individuals.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to say what is the hot
Is a
market,
hot market. Yeah.
right?
True.
I have an office for $168,000 with a net yield of 8% right now in Melbourne,
Yeah.
right? That too in southeast of Melbourne.
Yeah.
I have that right now. It's net 8% already tenanted.
Hmm.
Now the office, it's office, right? So it's not going to grow.
Exactly.
We know it, right?
True.
It's not going to grow as much.
True.
But for someone who's in their 50s or 60s or in superannuation, if they're trying to obviously capitalize on it, they don't care about growth,
True.
right? In 60s, you're not worried about growth. You want
Exactly.
cash flow.
Exactly.
So it has to suit the right person,
True.
right? So the asset class also matters to where you are in your journey,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? If you're just in your growth phase,
True.
you wouldn't want to buy that. I wouldn't even recommend,
Exactly.
even though you can easily, anyone would want to buy $168,000 property cash right now,
Yeah.
right? It's not. There
It's
was a
about
client
the
of mine
journey that you're
when it
in.
came out.
Yeah.
My client said, "Oh, I'm buying this. We're buying a Telstra shop right now in regional Victoria. So it's going through. It's almost done. Deals done. We're signing contracts. But as soon as I put this 168K property, he said, "Oh, I have to buy second commercial. I'll buy this." I said, "It's not going to grow. It's not for you. If it was, I would have come to you anyway. I wouldn't put it on the internet." So like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People get excited by seeing hot markets.
Yeah.
Let's get the herd mentality going out there.
True.
Let's buy this because everyone's buying it.
Exactly.
No.
Just go at your own pace.
But who decides that? So if you don't know what you don't know, you need
Exactly.
experts.
That is so true. That is so true.
And that's really where I think our role is becoming pivotal in the market. And also that brings a lot of responsibility on us.
Yeah.
That we're doing the right thing by the buyers.
That is so true.
Otherwise, you just become another product and selling another product to people.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
one question, and this is perhaps a perception from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I don't know if it's the right question, but I think it's definitely a perception out in the marketplace. A lot of people think if we hire a buyer's agent or buyer's advocate,
Yeah.
and they are going to buy something for them, because they haven't met one yet, they don't know exactly what they're going to listen or hear based on their situation. They might be thinking, I'm going to buy in Hoppers, Werribee, maybe further down Melton because it's affordable. And when they sit down with someone, they might be looking at buying somewhere else. So there could be different strategies. A question that people ask, buyer's agent, would they really negotiate a price down for me?
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Now,
a good question.
if I answer this before that, my answer would be that do not expect the person to negotiate price down. Cheapest property is not always the best property, in my opinion.
Yeah, true.
And I've seen that many times.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear that from you.
Yeah, sure. Look, I mean, it's a very typical question, and there is a inherent understanding in people's mind. What they think is that if I'm paying someone $15,000, to buy a property, they'll at least negotiate that price at least that much and get the
Yeah.
value out.
Yeah.
That's how they see a buyer agent value.
Correct.
That's actually so wrong.
Exactly.
So wrong, right? Because we're not magicians.
Yeah.
Right? We're working in a market
True.
to get the best result out.
Exactly.
You don't want to overpay for that, for sure.
Yes.
But in a rising market, what is a number? Right? In a dead market, you can negotiate 40,000 under.
Correct.
Even you can do it. You don't need a buyer agent for that.
Exactly.
Right? But it's actually buying the right property in the right location at the right price.
Exactly.
That's going to give you the benefit.
Exactly.
So what I tell my clients usually, and this is good for your listeners as well, the way I see it is you've got two choices when you come to me. I can buy you something in A grade market, and I can buy you something in B grade market. In the B grade market, I will meet your expectations. And you will be like, okay, this guy negotiated $30,000 less for me, took me to a market, great, I love it, because I can see the tangible value now
Yeah.
of a buyer
True.
agent.
Yeah.
But am I doing the right thing by you? Answer is no.
Yeah.
I would rather take you to A market, which is rising market, where if a price is 600,000 and I have to pay 630 to secure that property against 30 other buyers,
Yeah. True.
then I would take you to that market.
Exactly.
Because the momentum in that market that is starting to build or already built is going to give you 3 times more money
True.
in the shortest time frame possible.
Exactly.
Now, someone who's looking at that and thinking like, I paid him 15 grand, I have to pay $30,000 more. Where's the value?
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, you don't realize what you've just done on a
True.
600K, paid 45,000 more, understand, but you're going to make 120K more very quickly.
Exactly.
Then a dead market that's not going to move for 3 years.
I'll give you an example on that.
Fair enough. There you go.
Give an example.
You know, people who experience and give examples like on spot.
On the
Let
spot.
him go.
One person comes to my mind every time. I won't name him.
Okay.
I had a property in Point Cook
Right.
to sell. This person saw nearly 40 to 50 properties in 6 months.
40 to 50 properties.
Not just with me,
Fire out.
a lot of properties. he
Oh
saw.
my God.
Very slow decision maker. Right? He will go, take the section 32, think, and think, would come back with a very low offer. Every time misses out. And some of the times he really had opportunity to buy something at a fair price. When he was getting close to getting a yes, he would start thinking, okay, well, am I overpaying? And then he would pull out. He would pull out. For 6 months he did that. He was very close to buying a very good property, very upgraded, walkable distance to a school, east facing, with an upgrades were endless. And a house which we know would be market proof,
Yeah.
which will grow in value
Yeah.
no matter what. It's going to be a future home for
Yeah.
owner occupier.
Yeah.
Will get you a premium in the future, right? Now, the gap was about $5,500. He missed out on the property for that.
Oh my God.
He ended up buying a house, and he called me, and he was very proud about saving 30 to 40 grand. He bought it for 620.
Okay.
We sold that house for 655. He ended up buying another house for 610, 620. Right? And he called me and said, you know what?